Question 1. What does a broken or dashed yellow line next to a solid yellow line on a roadway mean? Option A. Passing is prohibited for vehicles traveling on both sides of the road. Option B. Passing is permitted for the side next to the broken line. Option C. Passing is permitted only for the side next to the solid line. Correct answer is Option B. Passing is permitted for the side next to the broken line. A broken yellow line indicates that passing is safe and legal if clear, but only for vehicles traveling in the lane immediately adjacent to that broken line. Question 2. You are approaching an intersection and intend to turn left. When must you activate your turn signal? Option A. At least 100 feet before making the turn. Option B. Exactly as you begin turning the steering wheel. Option C. Only if there are other vehicles stopped at the intersection. Correct answer is Option A. At least 100 feet before making the turn. Most traffic laws dictate that a driver must signal continuously for at least 100 feet before executing a turn or changing lanes to give surrounding traffic adequate notice. Question 3. What does a yield sign look like? Option A. An orange diamond with black text. Option B. A red and white upside-down triangle. Option C. A yellow circle with an interior cross. Correct answer is Option B. A red and white upside-down triangle. A yield sign is an inverted, downward-pointing triangle, painted red and white with the word yield inscribed inside it. It's a regulatory traffic sign instructing drivers to slow down, assess traffic, and yield the right-of-way to oncoming vehicles or pedestrians. Question 4. When emergency vehicles approach using flashing lights and sirens, what must a driver do? Option A. Accelerate to stay ahead of the emergency vehicle and prevent delays. Option B. Maintain your current speed and move over to the left lane. Option C. Pull over to the right edge of the road and stop completely. Correct answer is Option C. Pull over to the right edge of the road and stop completely. Drivers must pull over safely to the right-hand edge of the roadway, clear of intersections, and come to a complete stop until the emergency vehicle has safely passed. Question 5. Under what circumstance is it legal to make a right turn at a red traffic light? Option A. After stopping completely, checking for pedestrians, and yielding to cross traffic, unless a sign prohibits it. Option B. Anytime you do not see any oncoming traffic inside the intersection. Option C. Only when an officer present at the scene gives a verbal command. Correct answer is Option A. After stopping completely, checking for pedestrians, and yielding to cross traffic, unless a sign prohibits it. Right turns on red are legal across most of the U.S. after a complete stop, provided the intersection is clear of pedestrians and cross traffic, and no turn on red sign is posted. Question 6. What does this road sign mean? Option A. Bicycle slippery when wet ahead. Option B. Bike path. Option C. No bicycles. Correct answer is Option A. Bicycle slippery when wet ahead. This warning sign alerts cyclists, and sometimes motorists, that the roadway or bicycle path ahead may become slippery during rain or wet conditions. Water can reduce tire grip and increase stopping distance, making it easier to lose control. Riders and drivers should reduce speed, avoid sudden braking or sharp turns, and travel carefully until road conditions improve. Question 7. What is the purpose of a solid yellow line painted on the pavement? Option A. To mark the outer right edge of the highway shoulder. Option B. To separate traffic lanes moving in opposite directions. Option C. To indicate a lane that is ending shortly. Correct answer is Option B. To separate traffic lanes moving in opposite directions. Yellow pavement lines always separate traffic lanes moving in opposite or opposing directions. Solid yellow lines mean that crossing the line for passing is prohibited. Question 8. What should you do if your gas pedal suddenly sticks while you are driving on an open road? Option A. Turn off the engine immediately to stop the vehicle from accelerating. Option B. Shift the transmission into neutral, apply steady brakes, and steer to a safe spot. Option C. Pull the parking brake lever up with maximum force. Correct answer is Option B. Shift the transmission into neutral, apply steady brakes, and steer to a safe spot. Shifting into neutral cuts power from the engine to the wheels without locking up the steering wheel, which happens if you turn off the ignition key completely, allowing you to brake safely. Question 9. When a pedestrian is waiting at an unmarked crosswalk at an intersection, who has the right-of-way? Option A. The vehicles on the road have the right-of-way until a gap opens. Option B. The pedestrian has the right-of-way, and vehicles must yield. Option C. Whoever enters the crosswalk area first has the legal right-of-way. Correct answer is Option B. The pedestrian has the right-of-way, and vehicles must yield. Pedestrians have the right-of-way at both marked and unmarked crosswalks at intersections. Drivers must slow down or stop to allow pedestrians to cross safely. Question 10. What does this sign indicate to a driver? Option A. A high-speed highway merge area. Option B. Upcoming railroad track intersection. Option C. A school zone or school crossing ahead. Correct answer is Option C. A school zone or school crossing ahead. A 5-sided pentagon sign is uniquely reserved for school zones and school crossings to warn drivers that children are likely to be present nearby. Question 11. When driving down a steep hill or mountain road, how should you control your speed safely? Option A. Hold the clutch pedal down and coast downhill. Option B. Apply the brakes continuously to maintain a slow speed. Option C. Shift into a lower gear to let the engine assist with braking. Correct answer is Option C. Shift into a lower gear to let the engine assist with braking. Coasting in neutral or holding the brakes down continuously can overheat the brakes, causing brake fade or failure. Shifting into a lower gear uses engine braking to control speed safely. Question 12. What does this road sign mean? Option A. Railroad crossing crossbuck. Option B. Stop sign. Option C, track warning. Correct answer is option A, railroad crossing crossbuck. This sign marks a railroad crossing and indicates that drivers are approaching train tracks. The crossbuck is usually placed at the crossing itself and serves as a yield sign to train traffic. Drivers must slow down, look and listen for approaching trains, never stop on the tracks, and cross only when it is safe. Additional warning lights or gates may also be present at some crossings. Question 13. What does a white painted curb mean regarding parking rules? Option A, loading zone for passengers or mail only. Option B, parking is reserved exclusively for disabled individuals. Option C, parking is permitted for a limited time only. Correct answer is option A, loading zone for passengers or mail only. A white curb indicates that stopping or parking is permitted only for a short period to pick up or drop off passengers or mail. Question 14. When are roads typically at their slickest and most slippery during a rainfall? Option A, after it has been raining continuously for several hours. Option B, just as the rain begins to fall or within the first few minutes. Option C, immediately after the rainstorm ends and the sun comes out. Correct answer is option B, just as the rain begins to fall or within the first few minutes. Oil and grease build up on dry pavement over time. When the rain first starts, it mixes with these oils, creating an incredibly slick film before the rain can wash it away. Question 15. You are driving on a freeway and a car enters your lane closely from an entrance ramp. What should you do? Option A, honk your horn and maintain your speed to defend your lane. Option B, brake hard to force them back onto the shoulder of the ramp. Option C, create a safe gap by slowing down slightly or moving over a lane if clear. Correct answer is option C, create a safe gap by slowing down slightly or moving over a lane if clear. Safety and defensive driving dictate that you adjust your speed or change lanes to accommodate merging traffic, preventing conflicts and potential rear-end collisions. Question 16. What does a diamond-shaped symbol painted in the middle of a lane signify? Option A, the lane is prone to extreme weather and icing. Option B, the lane is a designated bike lane only. Option C, the lane is reserved for high-occupancy vehicles, HOV, like carpools. Correct answer is option C, the lane is reserved for high-occupancy vehicles, HOV, like carpools. Diamond markings on the pavement designate restricted lanes, most commonly high-occupancy vehicle, HOV lanes, bus lanes, or carpool lanes. Question 17. When turning left from a multi-lane one-way street onto another one-way street, where should you start your turn? Option A, from the center lane of the roadway. Option B, from any lane as long as you signal your intent clearly. Option C, from the lane closest to the left curb. Correct answer is option C, from the lane closest to the left curb. To safely execute a left turn from a one-way street to another one-way street, you must start the turn from the far left lane, closest to the left curb. Question 18. What's the correct meaning of this road sign? Option A. Divided highway begins. Option B. Two-way traffic. Option C. Divided highway ends. Correct answer is option C. Divided highway ends. This warning sign tells drivers that the divided highway ahead is ending, and traffic traveling in opposite directions will soon share the same roadway. Drivers should stay alert, remain in the correct lane, and prepare for oncoming traffic after the divider ends. Passing opportunities may become more limited. Question 19. If you miss your highway exit, what is the safest and most lawful action to take? Option A. Back up carefully along the shoulder of the highway to reach the exit. Option B. Make a sharp U-turn across the grass or paved median. Option C. Drive forward to the next available exit and navigate back. Correct answer is option C. Drive forward to the next available exit and navigate back. It is strictly illegal and highly dangerous to back up or make a U-turn on a freeway. You must proceed to the next exit and safely map a route back. Question 20. What is the purpose of rumble strips placed across or along the edges of a highway? Option A. To texturize the road for better tire grip during rain. Option B. To wake up or alert distracted drivers that they are veering off the road. Option C. To indicate that the speed limit is about to change. Correct answer is option B. To wake up or alert distracted drivers that they are veering off the road. Rumble strips use vibration and sound to alert drivers who are drifting out of their lane or off the shoulder due to drowsiness or distraction. Question 21. When passing a cyclist on the roadway, what is the minimum legal distance a driver must maintain? Option A. At least 1 foot. Option B. At least 3 feet. Option C. Exactly 1 car length. Correct answer is option B. At least 3 feet. Most states enforce a standard 3-foot rule, which dictates that motorists must give cyclists at least 3 feet of clearance when passing them from behind. Question 22. What does a solid yellow line on your side of a 2-lane road indicate? Option A. You are in a passing zone and may pass when clear. Option B. You are approaching a sharp curve and must slow down. Option C. Passing is strictly prohibited from your lane. Correct answer is option C. Passing is strictly prohibited from your lane. A solid yellow line on your side of the center divider means it is unsafe and illegal for you to cross into the oncoming lane to pass other vehicles. Question 23. If a police vehicle signals you to pull over, where should you safely position your car? Option A. Stop exactly where you are, even if you are blocking traffic. Option B. Pull over to the left median divider of the highway. Option C. Pull over completely to the right edge or shoulder of the road. Correct answer is option C. Pull over completely to the right edge or shoulder of the road. You should signal, move safely to the right-hand edge or shoulder of the road, park out of the traffic flow, and turn off your engine. Question 24. This warning sign means? Option A. Merge right. Option B. Added right lane. Option C. Right turn ahead. Correct answer is option B. Added right lane. This sign informs drivers that an additional lane is being added to the right side of the roadway. Traffic in the current lane does not need to merge because the road becomes wider. Drivers should remain aware of vehicles entering the new lane and maintain safe spacing. Question 25. What does a rectangular sign with a white background and black lettering represent? Option A. A general warning about changing road conditions. Option B. A regulatory sign that dictates laws and speed limits. Option C. A guide sign pointing toward historical landmarks. Correct answer is option B. A regulatory sign that dictates laws and speed limits. Rectangular white signs with black text are regulatory signs. They state specific traffic laws, regulations, or limits that drivers are legally required to obey. Question 26. When backing your vehicle out of a parking space or driveway, what is the best technique? Option A. Trust your rear view and side mirrors entirely. Option B. Rely exclusively on your vehicle's backup camera system. Option C. Turn your head and look directly out the rear window. Correct answer is option C. Turn your head and look directly out the rear window. While cameras and mirrors help, they have blind spots. Turning your body and looking directly out the rear window gives you the most accurate view of what is behind you. Question 27. Under what conditions are you required to yield to a public transit bus that is signaling? Option A. Only if the bus is carrying more than 20 passengers. Option B. When the bus is signaling to re-enter traffic from a designated bus stop. Option C. Only if you are driving a commercial vehicle yourself. Correct answer is option B. When the bus is signaling to re-enter traffic from a designated bus stop. In many jurisdictions, drivers must yield the right-of-way to public transit buses that are signaling to pull back into the flow of traffic from a bus stop. Question 28. What does a flashing yellow arrow traffic signal mean to a driver intending to turn left? Option A. You have an unprotected left turn. Yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. Option B. Your left turn protection is beginning. Accelerate quickly to turn. Option C. Come to a complete stop and wait for a solid green arrow. Correct answer is option A. You have an unprotected left turn. Yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. A flashing yellow arrow means left turns are allowed, but they are unprotected. You must yield to oncoming vehicles and pedestrians before executing the turn. Question 29. If your vehicle's brakes suddenly fail while you are driving, what should you do first? Option A. Turn the ignition key off to stop the car instantly. Option B. Pump the brake pedal rapidly to build up remaining hydraulic pressure. Option C. Pull the emergency brake up with maximum speed and force. Correct answer is option B. Pump the brake pedal rapidly to build up remaining hydraulic pressure. Pumping the brakes rapidly can sometimes build up enough residual fluid pressure to slow the vehicle. If that fails, downshift to a lower gear, and use the emergency brake smoothly. Question 30. What do you think this sign means? Option A, trailer camping. Option B, no trailers. Option C, RV repair. Correct answer is Option A, trailer camping. This guide sign indicates the location of facilities or areas designed for trailer camping or recreational vehicle (RV) camping. Travelers towing trailers or driving recreational vehicles can follow the sign for access to camping services and overnight accommodations. How many of the 30 tricky questions did you answer correctly? Share your score in the comments and see how well you did compared to other future drivers. If this practice test helped you prepare for your DMV written exam, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more DMV test preparation and road sign practice content. Keep studying, stay confident, and good luck passing your DMV test on your first attempt.